You still there? In this part of the tutorial, we're going to finish our doodle. We're going to add shadows, add eye blinking, and we're going to export our final version. This is a follow-along tutorial on how to create doodles. Alright, in this part we are going to do a very short thing. We will just add the shadows and we will finalize this animation. We will create a movie, we will export it, and we will be done with it. Oh man, if some of you actually follow this tutorial and will have their own version of this doodle, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Alright, I'm going to the shadows. Remember, we created shadows layer at the very beginning. Okay, since we didn't have any covers, I can go ahead and delete cover layer, and I'm just gonna keep the shadows. Okay, so now we're gonna change our tool to pencil. We need color black. Usually shadows are black. Sometimes shadows are also toned with a different color, but majority of them are black. And then we will adjust opacity to 30, and we will make size 20. Yeah, size 20 is enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and do shadows. So if you see chicken standing right here, the light is coming from this direction because this side of the body is actually light, and then this side of the body is dark. Also, you can see shadow laying down on this side. That means if the light is coming this way and it's hitting the hand, the shadow is going to be behind the hand like this. And of course, shadow is going to be only on the part where the body is. When the hand is going down, you don't see that shadow. So just go ahead and then add that quickly there, like this. Just few strokes to indicate a little bit of shadow here. Now there are two things that will make your any drawing more realistic and the photorealistic, I wanted to say actually more. These are shadows and works of light, shadows and reflections. I did this piece some time ago, drew it completely like on the iPad, and I loved my final result. And a lot of times I end up trying to prove that it's really not a picture or not a generated computer graphics. It really is a drawing from stroke to stroke. Yeah. So you can see we're adding shadows. You won't see much shadow on this one, so you can skip that. And same kind of here, you don't really see much shadows here. Just gonna add a little bit tone. Now, because the hand is connected, when you start doing your shadows, you don't do shadows like this, okay? You do shadows like they're not here, because that's where the hand is connected. The shadows are only here. You get it? Like this, okay? You don't have to be very precise with shadows. Just a little bit of tone, that there is some darkness behind the hand. The other part is if the hand is moving away from the body, farther away from the body, then the shadow becomes lighter but wider. Where we don't have that here, so I'm just doing the same exact size of my brush, or pencil in this case, and going through the motions. Okay, there will be no shadow here, and then there will be shadows here when the hands are coming down. That's it. Now, one thing I thought of, we can make this chicken blink, because usually blinking makes it, adds a little bit of life to it. So I think it's gonna blink somewhere when it has a very steady gaze at us, like somewhere right here. So let's do 41. But before we do that, let's go ahead and merge pupils with eyes completely. I'm gonna rename it to eyes. Okay. And you will see why I merged it, because I want to erase the eye with the pupil itself. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go back to my eraser. My eraser is at, I'm gonna use 10, and I'm gonna use 10 for the how feathered it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of gaining or understanding of the angle of the head, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase this like that, and I'm gonna erase almost completely out. Now I'm gonna completely erase it, and then I'm gonna do backwards. A small piece left. Large piece left, and that's it. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Haha. I think it's a very slow blinking. I think we need to reduce that. Yeah, I would reduce that a little bit. So that means I need to undo this here. Undo this here. This is gonna be my no eyes. Undo this here and undo this here. So where it's no eyes in the front frame, I'm gonna do half eye gone. And on the frame after, I'm gonna do half eye on. Okay, let's take a look and see what it looks like. Is it gonna be faster blinking? Hold on, let me just adjust it. Okay. Yep. The only thing is in the way is that rope is right above the head, somewhere close to the head when the chicken is blinking, but you can still see the chicken is blinking. Okay, that's great. We are down to the end of it. Going back to the shadows, switch back to pencil, and the last piece we want to do is the rope does not have any shadow, and it's laying down on the floor, and it doesn't look like it belongs there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some shadow to make it look like it belongs there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my shadow a little bit. I'm gonna do a 60%, and the size of my brush is going to be let's do 16. No, let's do 20. Let's do 25. Yeah, let's do 25. So just lightly a little bit right like that. That way you get shadow under and it looks like it actually belongs there. See, like compare this and this. See the differences? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and change that. Sorry if it's messing up with your head. I just gonna add that. And you have to add shadow only where it's actually laying down on the ground. You don't have to add shadow like here. Okay. And that's it. And then it's going down. And in the end, when it's going down right here, it's touching the ground a little bit. So I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow here. And it's flying away. All right. Now what else can you improve in this one? What you can do is you can select white. I'm not gonna do this, but I want to show it to you. You can select white and you can go to like size like a very small, like let's say 4 or something, and you can again, like we did shadow here, you can go at the very top, create a layer, call it highlights, and then in the highlights you can do this. Hold on, highlights on the top, I'm gonna go 100% and I'm gonna do 10. In the highlights you can do this. Let me change it a little bit to 17, and it makes it look like hand is actually more like a circle. See, this is flat, this looks like it's more solid, because again, remember what I said, the light will make it more realistic. I'm gonna leave it at that, but if you want, you feel free to improve yours, especially if you're gonna be sharing. I would love to see your doodle. You can go ahead and go that extra mile and then add that little highlight to every single hand. So if your hand is like this, then your highlight is gonna be, again, remember the light's coming from this side, your highlight is gonna be like this. And the light source, that's what you remember. Okay, I think we're done, and now we are ready to export this. If you want, you can go ahead and add text, and you can add your own watermark to it. Start with the frame 1, then add the watermark, then copy it, and then add to it, copy and paste basically into the every single layer. That way you have a watermark throughout the whole animation. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to 3 dots and I'm gonna say create a movie. This is our project, make a movie. And the movie is done, and I'm gonna click share and I'm gonna save to my device. The tutorial is complete. If you just watched it, you have my gratitude. If you followed along, you have my respect. Please make sure to share what you created. I would love to see it. And if you have any feedback or questions, please make sure you use comments below to ask and voice them.